Hey angels, welcome back. So today we are doing a perfume. I wouldn't call this like a haul because I actually got these perfumes quite a while ago. So this is not a haul. It is I guess like a first sniff slash I've worn this already quite a bit for a lot of these. So this is basically just an overview of the House of Vilhelm Discovery set. Plus I have Opus Core, which is not in the Discovery set, I believe, and the amazing, incredible, like my signature fragrance, absolutely love, love, love this perfume, Room Service. So I've already had to change the battery pack on my camera. I do have a Canon G7X. It's kind of like the perfect vlogger camera, but I am in the market for a new camera. If you guys have suggestions, let me know. I've had this camera since 2017. Not that there's anything really wrong with it, I just find that it's a little busted from traveling and shooting a lot on it. It's definitely served its time. So if you do have a recommendation on a camera, or you know what to get for camera, put it down below. I'm curious. I'm in the market, I'm shopping, I'm looking, so would love to hear you guys' feedback. So anyways, Room Service, I actually am wearing this one today. I actually wear this quite a bit, especially like summer months. I feel like this is such a good one. Not only is the bottle absolutely stunningly beautiful, I love the Vilhelm bottles. You have the beautiful cap. On the inside, you actually have the Vilhelm logos inside as well. It is a magnetic cap. And it's just so, so pretty. The bottom even has like the Vilhelm New York down here. And the house has quite a few perfumes. They all come in similar bottles. They look very elegant, very retro out on your stand. I actually keep mine in my closet just because anything with this lighter glass, you want to be careful not to expose it too much to the sun. Even if you're getting a little bit of sun in your room, it can change the notes, it can change the fragrance. It can also spoil it quicker. So I keep a lot of the lighter color bottles in my closet where it's dark, it's cool, and my fragrances last longer. So Room Service is going to be more of a, how to describe this then? So Room Service is going to be kind of an amber floral, very warm, a little bit like fresh and green comes through in there too. I know that sounds really weird, but it has like a little bit of like a fruity note to it. It's really bright. To me, it reminds me of just like when you're opening the curtains in the morning and it's just a beautiful morning. It kind of smells like fresh fruit mixed with sunshine, mixed with amber, like a warm skin scent. And then of course you have this beautiful like floral bouquet that shines through this perfume. To me, Room Service is extremely unique. I have not smelled any perfume quite like Room Service. It is one of a kind. I think that the blend, the way it's blended, is very unique and beautiful. When I smelled this, like the very first time I smelled this on a blotter paper, I was like, no, I need to smell this on my skin. I sprayed on my skin and I could not stop smelling myself. I think I wore this for like 3 days straight. I was so obsessed with it. It's just a fantastic scent. Like I noticed that even after I sprayed on a couple fragrances that day. I left the perfumery and I went to the gym to go work out, and people were like coming into my bubble because they probably were like, what the heck is that smell? It smells so good. Like it was just like people, when they came to talk to me, they were standing so close. And I really think that this perfume is just such a head turner. If you haven't smelled it for yourself, I highly recommend smelling it. I think it's a really beautiful like spring, summer, even going into fall. It's not super reminiscent of fall, but I could see this being like a really great spring, summer scent for someone who does like more of the amber florals, the not super sexy. It's not a super sexy scent. It's more of like a fresh kind of powdery, woodsy floral. It just smells like clean sheets and windows opening, like the sunshine coming through, and then like fresh cut flowers. That's like the best way to describe Room Service. The next one we're going to try is called Opus Core. This one I do have a sample of, and I actually almost bought this in the full size because once I wore this, I wore it a couple of days and my thoughts are still, I'm not quite sure if I want to take the plunge and buy a full size of this when I have so much else. Like it'd have to be something that I would really want to wear. But I think I do. It smells clean. It has this like undernote. It's almost like a warm skin smell with a floral, kind of like this sweet, 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 succulent, like honey running down floral. It's extremely, extremely musky. That's where that kind of like skin but better than skin scent comes from. It just has a very complex, like, just a very complex yet kind of simple, kind of like you're wearing a clean white t-shirt and like you have that tan skin, it's summertime. It smells like skin but better. I do kind of pick up on like a violet or some kind of floral that's like a really pretty, not super, super common in perfume floral. And then there is a little bit of like a green, kind of like an airy quality to this as well. Okay, so this perfume, and I just lost it, there we go. So this perfume was created in 2015 by Jerome Epinet. I'm not sure if that's the correct pronunciation, but this has top notes of acai berry and Sicilian lemon, and then middle notes are going to be raspberry bloom, magnolia, and violet leaves. So I knew I could pick up a little bit of the violet in there. I don't know if I really pick up a ton of the magnolia, but I think it just kind of ties into everything really well, like with the raspberry and everything like that, because there's no standout notes aside from the violet, and that was even hard for me to pick up. I was like, I feel like it could have violet in there, but I feel like the lemon, the berry, the raspberry, like you don't smell it and think, oh, it's a fruity fragrance. You really, really don't. You smell it and everything's just tied in very, very beautifully. You smell more like the musk, like that's really the prominent, it's a musky violet with a sweetness. I almost kind of pick up a honey. There's no honey in here at all, but I pick up kind of like a honey drizzling over florals. Like that's really what I'm picking up in here, like a musky honey, kind of fruity, but not super fruity fragrance. So there is sandalwood and amber in here. This one I really feel like I'll end up getting a full size of this because this is just, who this would be good for is someone who works in close quarters with other people. So say you work in a hospital, you work in an office job where you want a softer scent, like a skin scent, but better, kind of like when we were reviewing Montal. It was the amber, what was that? Amber something. That one, it's very similar to this. So this one would be very close to that, but more on the floral side. So this, instead of being more like ambery, I would say this is more of kind of like that violet floral. The violet isn't super standout, so if you don't like violet, I still would get like a sample if you can, a decant if you can. You can use my scent split code down below for 10% off. That way you can try anything you want. You can get as many samples as you want and try them out with that 10% off before you buy a full-size bottle, which I think is super, super smart if you're gonna be doing big size bottles, because these boys, I think this was like $2.50, and this is a, what is this? So this is 100 ml, so it's actually a pretty good price as far as niche goes, but it's still expensive. That's still a lot of money that you're paying for a bottle. You want to make sure you like it. So this one, definitely for someone who wants a skin scent but better, but leaning more floral. And honestly, I feel like this really can go either way. This is very unisex, but I do feel like this is more feminine. So this is the Vilhelm Perfumery. This is the Discovery Kit. So it does come with the Morning Chess, Dear Polly, Mango Skin, Room Service, Valesco and Fellini, and Poets of Berlin. Now I've worn quite a few of these. I've tried quite a few of these. I've worn Mango Skin so much. Mango Skin was one that I kept wanting to love it, and I know I may get, I don't know, I may get conflicting thoughts on this, because I know Mango Skin is a lot of people's favorite from the house of Vilhelm. But for me, Mango Skin is absolutely beautiful. It is a stunner. It is like mango, just like juicy, beautiful mango. However, wearing it for me brought up a sad feeling. And this is the weird thing about fragrance, is that fragrance is so tied, like the olfactory sensory system in humans is so tied to emotions, and it's tied to memories. And sometimes we don't quite understand the memory. I mean, I own a ton of mango fragrance. I have like Evapura, I have so many like mango-y scents that for me, it was kind of odd. And actually Cruz del Sur 2, which is more of a lactonic mango, had the same effect on me. It was like I almost felt sad all day long wearing it. Every time I'd get a whiff of it, it brought back like a very depressed feeling. And so fragrance is subjective. Fragrance is something that everyone's gonna have different memories tied to it. Everyone's gonna have a different opinion, and that's the beautiful thing about fragrance. I know a lot of you guys have written to me on Instagram saying that you love my fragrance reviews. I actually got messages saying that a lot of you have bought like Angel's Share, Parfum de Marly, and other scents that I've talked about, Xerjoff, and you've been so delighted with it, and that means the world to me. I'm so glad that you guys like trust me with my opinions, and you like these videos enough to trust them to go buy a perfume. But I always say, when you can, go get the scent split, or go find a place where you can get decants. If you know, you can find a place close by, or you have a boutique close by, go smell it, go wear it on your skin before purchasing. And I'm really glad I did for mango skin, because I love mango skin. I just cannot wear it without feeling this like sadness. So mango skin, absolutely beautiful. It would be a great summertime fragrance. If you tend to like fruitier scents, if you tend to like kind of like fruity, but with that like DNA of the Vilhelm. So like Vilhelm has a very distinct DNA. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's like this like skin but better scent. It's a very, very distinguished scent that I absolutely love. I'm a huge fan of Vilhelm. Love almost the entire house. I could wear any of these any day, like reach for any of them and be pretty happy, besides the mango skin, for personal reasons. Other than that, it is an absolute stunner of a fragrance. So if you tend to like Cruz del Sur 2, if you like a traditional like mango scent, but with this like almost kind of warm skin, kind of like a little bit like spicy. I don't know how to quite say that. I'm gonna look up the notes for you guys so that I don't like totally butcher it, but mango skin has a very interesting dry down. You know, it's kind of musky, skin musk, but it has like something else in there that just kind of is incredible. So it does have violet in there, orange, mango obviously. It does have frangipani, mango blossom, which is really what gives it this like fresh kick. It's really pretty. Ylang ylang, and then the base notes are gonna be blackcurrant, musk, red wine, and civet. So I think that's really what gives it that interesting dry down, kind of that twist of events, is the red wine and civet. I noticed that the very first time I wore it, I was like, wow, this is unique. It is not like all other mango scents. It does definitely have like that twist once you wear it and it's drying down. It's a stunner. It is beautiful. It's a great grab for dinner, dates, daytime, office wear. It's just a really pretty scent. The next one we're going to talk about is Morning Chess. This one I don't need to spray. I've actually worn Morning Chess quite a bit. Morning Chess is stunning. It is like more masculine, very much masculine scent in my opinion, but I would wear this, and I have worn this with like black leather leggings, a bun. Like, it's a little bit edgy. It's like, on a woman, I find it to be very edgy, very intriguing, very sexy, very powerful. On a man, it just smells very distinguished, very it just smells really like, ooh, like you smell it and it just feels very like familiar but elegant. It just has a very, 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 very beautiful dry down as well. And the lasting power on Morning Chess is phenomenal. I actually wore it to bed one time. I sprayed it on around like 7 p.m., went to bed around like 10:30, woke up in the morning, and it just was like the whole room smelled like Morning Chess. It was absolutely phenomenal. The next one is Dear Polly. So this one I haven't worn a ton. I know that everyone, like most everyone who likes Vilhelm, loves Dear Polly. So I'm gonna look up the notes for you guys so we can talk a little bit about this one. This one's gonna be, the main accords are gonna be green, citrus, fresh, spicy, amber, fruity, musky, animalic, mossy, and powdery. With Dear Polly, it's gonna have, the top notes are gonna be bergamot and apple. Middle note is gonna be black tea, and the base notes are black amber, musk, and oak moss. This one, I believe I heard Demi Rawling talking about this one as it was like modeled after his wife. Like they would have tea in the morning and her name was Polly. There's a cute story behind it. I don't want to like butcher it too much because I know I'm probably not getting it right, but Dear Polly, we're gonna go ahead and spray on this side. I haven't worn it a ton. I know a lot of people love Dear Polly. It's really pretty. When I smell this, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I want to go out and buy a full-size bottle. It's funny because I don't wear this one, but I feel like I should. It has a little bit of a spicy kick to it. I don't really find it to be super fresh. To me, you really can smell like the fruity and then the tea note. The tea note is very strong. Very strong in this. It is an absolutely beautifully blended perfume. I guess the reason why I don't think I would buy this one is because it has almost kind of incensey tea quality to it, where on me it almost kind of leans, like now that I'm smelling at my skin, it can smell a little bit dirty, especially in the heat and humidity of Florida. This one would be better suited if I lived in a colder climate, fall time, winter time. It's very soothing, very comforting. However, I don't think it mixes well with the heat and humidity. This would be one that I would feel a little bit sick wearing, just because it does kind of have more of that incensey, almost a little bit masculine. It's beautiful. This is an absolutely stunning fragrance just for the occasion. I would say this would be a really good cool weather. You could try it in warmer climates. Let me know down below if you have worn it and you love it in the heat and humidity, how it played with your skin and what your thoughts were on this. For me personally, I would definitely bring this along for cooler climates, cooler weather. You know, if we go back and visit family in Indiana, I may bring this along, you know, more towards the holiday time. It's pretty subtle. It's not super in your face. That's another nice thing about Dear Polly is you're not getting like too much projection. So even if you were to wear it, I feel like it's not going to be like a ooh, like a incense cloud or a tea cloud over people. It's very much a beautiful, like softer tea scent. So the last two we have are Valesco and Fellini and Poets of Berlin. Poets of Berlin is definitely one that I will be buying a full-size bottle of eventually. I've worn this one a lot. And this one is more sugary. It's very sweet. The dry down is extremely sweet. I don't have anything here, so we're gonna go ahead and spray it. I fell in love with the dry down of this one. Upon first spray, you really get like just this burst of like joy. Like this one is just really it smells like kind of sugary, kind of like a lemon tart. Like there's something kind of like fruity in there. I'm gonna look up the notes for you guys. Poets of Berlin, definitely one of my favorite fragrances, and I didn't think I wanted to buy it because I'm like, oh, it dries down so sweet. When am I gonna really wear it? Because I don't wear a ton of my ultra sweet fragrances. I love them and I like to like kind of wear them around the house, but when I'm out and about, I almost feel like if they're too sweet, sometimes it's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's a preference thing. But this one is like sweet in the best way. So it's woody, it's vanilla, fruity, powdery, sweet, earthy, citrus, aromatic, and irisy. So this one has blueberry and lemon, so that's where the lemon tart came from. That's the top notes. The middle notes are going to be bamboo and orris, and then the base notes are vanilla, sandalwood, and vetiver. And I think that's really what I find really incredible about Poets of Berlin is vetiver, sandalwood, and vanilla are my love language. I am obsessed with anything that has a heavy sandalwood, like a sweeter sandalwood, mixed with more of like a dry vanilla. I was reviewing a perfume recently that had a very, very, very dry vanilla in it, and I absolutely love a drier vanilla. It had a vanilla seed, and I forget which one I was reviewing. I'm trying to think of which one it was, but that to me is just absolutely like, oh my god. And then you pair that with like a warm kind of sensual vetiver, and my god, it is like seriously my favorite thing. It just smells so incredible to me. I absolutely love anything vanilla, sandalwood, vetiver. Of course, it depends on the type of vetiver, it depends on the type of sandalwood, and it definitely depends on the type of vanilla. But this one, definitely a sweeter vanilla. You do have like a sharpness in there, and I can't tell if it's coming from the sandalwood or the vetiver, but it's almost like and it does dry down, and it kind of like goes away in the dry down, but there is a sharp kind of woody natural smell inside of Poets of Berlin that gives it an edge. So it's not like a traditionally, and this is why I'm like, maybe I would wear this more often than a lot of my sweet fragrances, that I think to me it's just when I wear too sweet of a fragrance throughout the day, I kind of like just feel, I don't know, I get sick of the scent really quickly. I like to have something a little bit interesting in there, like a woody note or something that kind of like gives it a spice, a woodiness, maybe something that gives it just a little twist. I don't like it to be just straight sugar, and Poets of Berlin is definitely fitting that bill, where it does have this twist of events. It's not straight sugar. It's phenomenal. This one could swing either way, very unisex, and it has like that beauty in it where, you know, the dry down as it's going through, you really have that story playing out as you're wearing it, and you can smell it go through the different phases. It's just absolutely incredible. So again, that's Poets of Berlin by Vilhelm. And our last one is Valesco and Fellini. This one is very much a basil scent. This one, I've actually worn this one quite a few times, and it's funny because my husband loves basil scents, and so for him this is like incredible. He absolutely loves this fragrance. He likes this fragrance on me. It's not ultra feminine, so it's not something that I would maybe necessarily buy, but it's extremely fresh. And it's extremely unique in my opinion. You don't really smell a ton of like basil, like herbal perfumes that are done this way. It's herbal but sweet. So the basil isn't like a sharp bitter. It has kind of a sweet, kind of ambery, like this one just reminds me of walking through like a secret garden. It's kind of like the vibe I get with this, and I'm looking up the notes so that I can talk about the notes with you guys, because this one is just a real unique beauty, especially being in the herbal field. This one, it's so fresh, and it has a pretty good longevity too. I've noticed when I wear this one, I get quite a bit of wear, and people tend to smell it. Like they're like, oh, what is that? That's very interesting. Like, it just smells really fresh. And normally when you're wearing fresh scents, they tend to dissipate really quickly. That's kind of the main complaint most people have with fresh scents, is that they don't last a super long time on the skin. This one I found it does have pretty good longevity, which is really great for being kind of that more herbal, you know, greener type scent. So this one was launched in 2017. The top notes are gonna be basil and pitahaya. I don't know how to pronounce that, pitahaya. I'm gonna have to look that up later. I'm curious to see what that is. And then the middle notes are gonna be fig and violet. There's a lot of violet inside Vilhelm, which is probably the reason why I like Vilhelm. I tend to like violet when it's blended really well in a perfume. So the fig and the violet really are stunning. They're really pretty inside of this perfume. Vilhelm does have a fig perfume. I think it's called Purple Fig. Don't quote me on that, but it is a fig perfume that is absolutely divine if you are a fig lover. I tend to find people who like fig really love fig, and people who, you know, you either love it or you hate it. It's very like polarizing in perfume. This one, it just smells so like fresh, almost kind of like you're sitting outside and you're dining with white wine. It's kind of like a warm but not too hot day, and it's like you have the fresh herbal, like the basil with the watermelon and feta cheese salad. It's kind of like that. The bottom notes are gonna be green grass, hay, and vetiver. It's a very fun fragrance. You have to really like niche perfume, and you have to really like the freshy herbal scents to love this one. Part of me wants to have this in my collection because it's so unique, and then the other part of me is like, don't purchase it because you're probably not gonna wear it. But there's always the chance that I'll fall in love. You guys know how I am with perfume if you've watched this channel since I started talking about perfume. I usually start off not liking a fragrance. There's one called, what is it, Morendo? Let me grab it because I want to talk about this. Maduro. So this one is called Maduro. This is a ultra niche fragrance by Fort and Manley. And it is Melbourne. I don't know. So this is weird. So anyways, this is, I don't quite know like what the Melbourne part is, but this one is the 50 ml version of Maduro. Now this one, the packaging is super cute. It has not been opened. It comes with a bow on the top, and this was actually like, I think, a really inexpensive bottle when it comes to niche. I want to say it was like $90 or something, but when I first smelled this, oh, gross. Like I could not, I was like, this is absolutely disgusting. I don't want to smell it again, but something was kind of intriguing to me about it, and I kept like revisiting it. And one day I was in the perfumery and we were sitting there just smelling things, and I was like, wait a second, let's revisit. We spent like an hour discussing this guy. We were just like, who would wear this? What is this about? Like, this is just such a interesting, unique, oh my god, my watch looks so tacky. But this is such an interesting, unique fragrance. The case is just so, it just looks like a shipwreck. Like it looks like a Pirates of the Caribbean type situation over here. I love it. It has like a raised label, so it actually feels like it's like printed off. It's really just, it's a cool fragrance. I'm scared to spray this because I don't want this on me. You don't want to wear this in meetings. I have meetings today. You don't want to wear this in meetings. This is very polarizing to the point where we were laughing about it and we're talking about how this needs the right wearer. This requires someone who does not give a bleep about what anyone thinks about them. This is totally for that person who just is their own person. It is like this would be like an Elon Musk fragrance. This would be like a, I don't know, someone who just doesn't care. Like, it's just a FU type fragrance. It'd be like the air of like, I don't know, they own everything in the world and it's just like, this is what they would wear. It's a really weird fragrance and I really want to spray it now on something so I can talk about it real quick before we get off this Vilhelm video, which you guys are here for Vilhelm and I'm like, let me talk about Maduro because it's so weird. But my point is that I hated this when I first smelled it. I was like, oh my god, this is so gross, so disgusting. But the more I sat with it, I was like, this is so interesting, so intriguing. And I started to really, really love it. And I knew I wanted it in my collection because it is so weird and so unique. And my husband actually ended up falling in love with it. And we started laughing. We're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly who would buy this. My husband's very successful. He kind of does things to his own beat of his drum, and this is totally the fragrance where he could wear this and it would make sense. Whereas if I wore this, people would think I had been through something really traumatic. They'd think that maybe I hadn't had a shower in a couple weeks. They'd feel really bad for me. Like I may get some like sympathy looks. People may ask, are you okay? Like, it just is a interesting scent. This one is supposed to be like a shipwreck, and you bring up this trunk, this case from down in the shipwreck, and it's, you know, a long time later, it's smoky, and it's supposed to smell like the fruit, the dried fruit that was in there, and the tobacco, and, you know, the cigars and all of that, everything that was inside of there, like the remnants of probably like parchment paper and all of that. It's so weird. I don't even know how to explain this to you guys. You just have to smell it. It's beyond interesting. There's kind of like this like burnt kind of plastic scent to it. It makes my stomach turn because I haven't eaten yet today, and it makes me kind of want to vomit a little bit, but like in the best way. It's just a really unique fragrance. If you have not smelled Maduro and you're into ultra niche stuff, this is one that I would maybe not purchase like a decant even of this. Just try and find a place that sells this and go smell it, or, you know, if you can get a decant of it just to smell it, go for it. This one, I'm curious, is there anyone who's watching this who has smelled this? Is there anyone who is watching this who's brave enough to wear this? I feel like this is like, you have to have some balls to wear Maduro. It is just very much a ballsy scent. I feel the same way though about zoology or zoologist, which I personally wouldn't wear. I've worn bee before and I just felt like it was just not for me, but I'm intrigued by it and I want to spend more time with the house because I'm like, this is something where it's intriguing. It's not going to be something that's like super mass appealing, but it's just, it's fun, it's different, it's unique. That's how I feel about like a lot of these things. So anyways, with that being said, I usually say that I would never wear something or that I don't like something, and then come to find out later on, you know, I actually am like obsessed with it. And it's something that I'm maybe like wearing a lot more to bed or around the house, even if I know like I don't want to be showing homes smelling, you know, like I went through a burning fire to pick up cigar butts. Like I don't want to smell like that at work, but it's something that, you know, it's intriguing, it's different, it's unique, and people who are attracted to more of that like fragrance, and it's kind of like almost like wine tasting for wine enthusiasts. This is a really interesting perfume. Definitely check it out if you can. So anyways, that wraps up our review today. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for the comments, subscribes. Thank you for the likes. And I appreciate and adore you guys, and I will see you in the next video.